Hello, everyone, and good morning. By the time you guys watch this, it'll be morning. I'm going to post it for my early birds while I'm on my way to work. I work tomorrow, so I won't be able to make this video tomorrow, so I'm making it tonight. I just finished watching Baron's show. I watched Candace's before that. It was pretty crazy. So we're going to get into that a little bit. And then we're going to talk about a couple other things that Baron went over on his show he did yesterday. Or was it yesterday? I don't know if it was yesterday or last week. I can't keep up. Um, but we're gonna go over him mentioning something about, I don't know, maybe being a king and what my thoughts were on that. And then we're gonna go into he went hard for Candace today. Like he went I'm telling you right now, I hope that all of my friends come to my defense the way that he came to Candace's defense today. And he did it perfectly because he did it factually. He didn't really come with any insults or anything like that. He didn't attack people's appearance. He just stated facts and did it in a way that was like, you guys are attacking her and it makes no sense. And that's really what it is. And and that's great because it's true. And it's still happening. And it's happening right now as we speak, guys. I just looked on X before I hopped on here and there's people coming out of every nook and cranny. They are pulling up her husband's arrest records. They are pulling up her like any and everything that they can find, past interviews that she did when she was a newer podcaster, anything that they can find to discredit her or try to discredit her, because none of that stuff actually does. All it really does, if the allegations are even true, all it really does is just prove that she's not a perfect person. Um, but it in no way discredits her at all as being so. We saw this with Mitch Snow. They tried to do this with Mitch Snow too. He came out and said, "Hey, I was at Fort Huachuca. Okay. And this is what I saw." And then we were able to verify that he was there at Fort Huachuca, or Candace was able to. And then they come out of the woodwork and they're like, "Well, he can't be trusted because he had a wife that he didn't get along with, and she accused him of being abusive and a liar, and his son doesn't even want anything to do with him." And all of that's unfortunate if true. But at the end of the day, it has absolutely nothing to do with the day that's in question, with the day that he said he was there and what he saw. That's all we care about, is if he actually saw what he's saying he saw that day. Okay? Like, that's no different than prisoners in prison. When another prisoner does something and another prisoner witnesses it, okay, and the prisoner who's the witness is like, "Hey, this is what I saw." Are they just going to immediately not even take their statement or not even consider it or investigate it or anything because they're in prison, therefore they did something wrong, therefore they can't be trusted at any point ever? Like, no, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you need to take that information and store it away in a folder as a consideration in case more evidence comes later that goes along with that. Okay? That's all that is. But my point is that, like, people come out and start bringing all this stuff up about your personal life or your cousin or your sister or your husband or your brother or whoever, and try to use that as proof that what she's saying can't be credible. It's like, what does any of that have to do with her? It's like, okay, like, yeah, okay, her husband potentially, allegedly, got a DWI or something. I'm not gonna go into it because I saw one post on X. I don't know if it's verified. I don't know if it's true. So don't take this and run with it. I have no idea. All I know is that immediately after she put out this episode, they are coming full swing with the attacks, whether they're true or not. But let's just say that's true, just hypothetically speaking, for the moment, because I can't verify it. And Candace hasn't come out and said anything about it. So I don't know. But let's just say this allegation is true. Okay, that's her husband. Her husband allegedly has a DUI. What does that have to do with any of the questions that TPUSA or Eric has been asked at all? Like, just can somebody enlighten me? Can somebody put down in the comments below and just tell me, like, what does that have to do with any of it? The answer is nothing. Absolutely nothing. It has nothing to do with it. They're doing everything they can. They're grasping at straws here is what it looks like. They're like this. I feel like that's the only thing they could find. I feel like they've been holding on to that for a while. and they've just been waiting for, like, it's like their Hail Mary. This alleged DUI that her husband got is, like, their Hail Mary attempt at trying to avoid what's to come. That's all it looks like to me. Okay, so we're gonna get into a little bit of that, um, but it's just not necessarily that, because that's really all I know, but more so, like, the constant attacks on Candace that you see, um, and that's why, rightfully so, Baron came out swinging. He came in hot, guys. He had on the, what did they call it, the battle blue, because he doesn't have enough hair to have a battle bun, guys. That's what he said. He's like, "I don't have enough hair to have a battle bun," but he's got on the battle blue Adidas sweater. But he doesn't wanna commit to that, because then, I don't know, it's hard to commit to. Even Candace tonight, she was like, "I don't have in the battle bun, but I'm still battling." So, now it's like, we don't know. We don't know what to expect. You don't have to have a it just proves you do not have to have I have the battle bun in. And I don't know. I don't intend on going, to bat right now. Um, but you never know. You never know. I could start reading something and it just sparks a flame, and next thing you know, we're battling. So, but I also almost always have a bun in, just because. I mean, I call it the mom bun. For all my moms, like, the mom bun is the mom bun. But yeah, so anyway, let's get into it. So I'm gonna pull myself down here. Look at that. King Baron in the flesh. Okay. So here's what I want to say about this. Okay. So I made this picture last week, and I posted it on my page, and then I think I used it in a comment on one of his posts. But that's it. I wasn't really expecting it to, like, go anywhere. Um and I just thought it was fitting. Again, it went along with the whole Candace being the queen of receipts thing. So I figured, if Candace is the queen of receipts, well, then what is Baron? What is Ian? And what do these people, kind of represent? And I just want to put a disclaimer really quick, because I've had some people comment that um it's not uh like, it's not good to idolize people and make them as, like, queens and kings, and especially when, of course, Christ is king, of course. Like, I just want that disclaimer out there. Christ is king. There is no king above him. I think can we all agree that Christ is king, okay? Um, but when I'm making these, it's not to say that they are above Christ or that we're idolizing them. It's a meme. It's all fun. It's just a way to say, "Oh, you're the king of this subject." It's all within, you know, just like I said, it's all out of fun. Okay, it's not. We're not all actually going to go to Baron's house and all hail King Like, that's not. No, but you know what? At the end of the day, he came out swinging today. He is King Baron, and Christ is the King of Kings. So now that we have that disclaimer out there, we can have some fun. So I put this picture out, and then Baron. So I saw that there was a video that went out about this. He had mentioned something about being a king on his show, or somebody had mentioned it to him. And I'm not saying that it had anything to do with me, but his description of what he would look like as a king it's so almost on the nose of, like, the picture that I put out. Um, I originally thought that maybe he had seen what I put out and that's where he got the idea from. Um, but now I'm not so sure. Either way, it doesn't matter. I mean, he put out kind of like the same kingly look that, like, any king would have. You have on the robe, all of that stuff. So I don't know. I don't know if he actually saw it. I just know that his description of it was very close to mine, and you guys got to hear this because it's really funny.
And because of that, I wouldn't want to be president. I don't want to get run out of office with a 23% approval rating. But as a king, y'all get over it. You'll get over it when everything turns around and they look back and go, man, for the first 15 years, we weren't sure where King Baron the First was going. But now we know, and we sure are thankful for such a lovable, benevolent king. He's great. And I'm sitting there, and I've got my Dalmatian fur coat on and my big crown that looks like the Egyptian crown, the one that looks kind of like a bowling ball. I mean, a bowling pin. You know what I'm talking about? And I got my scepter.
All right, I'm just gonna pause here for a second because I just gotta show you guys, like, I did not have that, so there's that part. Uh, we just had a regular crown, but we did have the Dalmatian. We had the Dalmatian in there, we have the scepter, okay? So we were close. We were close. Uh,
And I rule with an iron fist. And because of that, I wear an iron glove, like Michael Jackson used to wear the sparkly one, but I wear an iron one to show you that I rule with an iron fist. But then I have like the big heart, like the lion, not the lion, like the Tin Man got in Wizard of Oz, and I just wear it around my chest. I wear a heart pendant. It looks like Flavor Flav's clock, but it's a heart, and I wear that all the time. I'm not one of these kings that shows up in a business suit like King Charles does. No, that's not for me. When you see me, I got the whole get up on everywhere I go. I go to Publix, I'm in the get up. I go to Walmart, I'm in the get up. I'll just run around the neighborhood in the get up. I go exercise in the get up. Do it, jump and rope in my get up with my iron fist, scepter in one hand, rope in both. It's going to be amazing. I'm just telling you, I'll be a good king. Baron, that was my favorite opening statement.
oh my gosh, that's too good to pass up. I mean, really. And so, of course, after tonight, you guys, I had to do it. I had to do it. I had to do the Iron Fist. I had to. I had to. So here we go. Now his pictures in the back are different. They're a little bit more Victorian era, I would say. But I mean, how cool is this? How do you have it? So it's literally there's like villages back here. Okay. I don't know if you can see this. Am I in the way? Yeah. I'll move. Just move myself. I'm in the presence of the king. I got to get out of here. Like bow down here. Move. Okay. Um. But how cool is that? You have the on-air sign when electricity wasn't even invented yet. That's how cool. And look at there you go. Ruling with the iron fist. He came with the iron fist today with the golden mic. I didn't get the heart pendant. Should have got the heart pendant and the staff. Well, anyway, iron fist. And so I said, Baron came out swinging with the iron fist tonight. Way to go, Baron. This is my absolute favorite episode because it was honest, raw, real, and factual. I pray my friends come to my defense the way you did for Candace. Baron is the king of defense, and Christ is king of kings always and forever. Amen. Amen indeed. Christ is king indeed, as Baron would say. And yeah. So as we know, our queen of receipts, she came with the receipts. She came with the receipts again today. We don't know what to think of what Andrew could have been doing or not doing within that time frame where he wasn't where he was supposed to be? So I guess we'll see how that all plays out when it comes to if they decide to respond, which so far it's like, I don't know. The only thing that people seem to be wanting to respond with on that side is either nothing or just insults, or now they have like their team of people or whoever's on their payroll going out and digging up everything they can on Candace and her family. And, it would just be so much easier if they would just answer the questions. That's what I don't get. Like, why don't you just, like, we're wondering what happened to Charlie. That's it, and that's all. We just want to know and understand what happened. We want to know and understand what happened. I don't understand why that's such a problem. I don't, other than them being, I mean, look, I'm not accusing anybody of anything here, okay? I will say that given everything that we know, it looks really suspicious. It looks really weird. It gives me a very bad feeling. It questions everything that I thought about not just TPUSA, but even just our country, okay? So I don't want to accuse anybody of anything, but it is weird, okay? And so I just feel like the silence and the complete avoidance of specific questions, and then sometimes when they do answer the questions, it's completely skewed or it's not answered. They're not actually answering the question, or like they answer it wrong. Like they'll get dates wrong. Like, well, she'll ask for something on one particular date, and then they'll send a screenshot or something to as an alibi for that date, but then it'll be the wrong date. And then they'll just keep saying, no, that's the date. And it's like, no, but it doesn't say that that's the date. So they get caught up and hung up on these little nuances. It's like filibustering. That's exactly what it is. They've been filibustering for months now. And I mean, I feel like myself and everyone else are just kind of over it. And I think Baron was over it. And he's over the constant attacks on Candace and everybody else. Like he's just and I'm gonna show you a little bit of it right now. Let's show you why he got the Iron Fist today. This was just amazing. Like, man, I hope I have friends like this because it's amazing.
I'm tired of these people. I'm tired of these people. I'm tired of everything they do saying that there's some ulterior motive. Well, maybe the motive is just to figure out who killed Charlie Kirk, how, and why. Has that crossed your mind? It crossed Andrew's mind when he shared a series of text messages with Joe Kent. It crossed Andrew's mind who killed Charlie Kirk, how, and why. I need you to ignore for a moment that the tweet I'm going to show you. This is, again, I'm just grabbing examples because I'm showing you the philosophy of what's happening here. This line of attack isn't working, so now they're going on to Joe Kent. But this is just
So that's I just want to say I want to hop in here. That's another thing too, is that you're starting to see them all go after Joe Kent as well. He's a leaker, he's a traitor, he's this, he's that, just like they did with Tucker Carlson. And it's like it just none of it makes sense. They have zero evidence, or at least that I've seen, or that they just keep coming out and saying it. All these accusations, and then they just say it. You know, nobody's coming out, and at least that I've seen, I haven't seen Baron or Candace or anyone else come out and blatantly say that Erica Kirk is complicit in Charlie Kirk's murder. Like they haven't come out and just like blatantly said like, "Oh, you're a murderer, you're a liar, you're the like." Well, actually, they have said, you know, because she's been caught in lies, so they have said that, but they haven't just like come out and just said like, "Oh, you are this thing," verifiably. Even though there's a lot of evidence to suggest that that is a high possibility. But that's never been said. She's never been accused of it. Nobody's ever come out and said, "This, you did this." But when it comes to people like Candace and it comes to people like Tucker and now Joe Kent, it is like without any proof whatsoever, nothing but allegations. It's just, you're a traitor, you're a leaker. I don't get it. I don't get that. What is up with that? I don't know. Whatever.
just ignore the irony that it's somebody called the gay Republican attacking this issue. Just ignore it.
I, we're just supposed to ignore that. That's what I think I find hilarious. Like, just, okay,
Yeah, right.
we'll just ignore it.
They don't actually care what Candace Owens does going forward. Good. Shut up. Stop talking about it. Oh, you do talk. You do care because you write all the rest of this. Oh, okay. I see. I will never forgive her for the way she's twisted Erica Kirk's reputation. Notice there's no evidence of what she's done to twist her reputation. This is just part of the same thing they're doing to Joe Kent. There's nothing on the record that they can get him with. There's nothing on the record you can get Candace with. So they twist,
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. He's 100% right.
they make up, they lie. Random people will continue to hate Erica for years based off of the absolute nothing burgers Candace insinuated, all for clicks and views. I'm so sick of this line of attack, all for clicks and views. And stop telling us what Charlie Kirk would be thinking. It's gross. It's gross.
Thank you. Thank you, Baron, for saying this. Oh my gosh. Like everybody is just, oh, like it's just, oh, I feel so vindicated. I'm like, finally, like it had to be said. It had to be said because this whole, oh, you're using Charlie Kirk to do this or do that. And it's like, who's really using, I don't want to speak, I don't want to, get ahead of myself here because he really goes into detail on this better. Um, but yeah, he's absolutely right. I'm so glad he said it.
The Bible tells us to care for the widow. Yeah, he does. Did you miss my opening last night where I covered 8 different black widows who killed their husbands and got away with it for years before they were found out? Did you miss that? Were we told to take care of them as well? Were we told they were without criticism? Because, they all got caught because outsiders started asking questions and started criticizing. That's how they got caught. Every one of them. Every one of them got away with it until some nosy outsider started saying, something's not adding up here. So yes, the Bible does tell us to care for widows and orphans. There's no doubt about it. Candace did the exact opposite of that. Why? By asking questions? By pointing out that she's a documented liar, has told lies many, many times? Documented? That she's lied about where she's worked? That she's lied about what she did there? That she lied about what the charity does, that she's lied about her educational resume, that she's lied about the degree she has, that she's lied about the honors she received. But everybody likes to complain about Candace. Oh, Candace is doing this for clicks. What do you think Andrew Colvett and Blake Neff are doing, sitting behind a desk every day with Charlie Kirk's picture hanging behind it and Charlie Kirk's empty seat right there, and the Charlie Kirk show banner on the Chiron on the bottom, or the bottom third? I've told it's no longer called a Chiron. I'm old. Charlie Kirk's name on the lower third, Charlie Kirk's logo on the left corner, charliekirk.com on the right corner. What do you think they're doing? You don't think they're whoring out for clicks?
You guys, when I heard that, I was like, "Excuse me?" Now that's a term. That's a term I haven't heard before, but people do it. Um, he's got a point.
Do I need to go back and show you what it looks like on the Charlie Kirk show when he's not even alive? This is what it looks like.
Yeah, and also too, like, just to add on to that, I've seen a lot of people express their, um, disappointment with that, I guess, or they're just kind of disgust with that, because I've seen a lot of people say things like, Charlie Kirk is dead. Like, stop using his name. Stop saying these ideas or giving these agendas with his name on it. Like, call it the Andrew Colvett show, or call it the Blake Neff show, or call it the anything but Charlie Kirk show. Because Charlie Kirk is gone. You can still have his chair. You can leave a spot for him at the table. You don't have to touch his stuff. Okay, let him have his seat that he earned. But to sit here and keep his show going using his name, it's implying that like it's him saying these things when like obviously it's not. But that was his show. He worked really hard to have that show, and unfortunately he's no longer with us. How about you guys go make your own show? Oh yeah, that's right, because nobody would ever watch the Andrew and Blake show. Okay, if Andrew and Blake right now today went and tried to set up their show outside of Charlie Kirk, if they stopped riding his coattails, nobody would watch. Nobody would watch because, and Baron's gonna get into this. Like, he literally says nobody even would know who you were if it wasn't for Charlie Kirk. Nobody would even know who you were. Nobody even knew that you existed. So yeah, I just wanted to add on to that. I think that a lot of people are kind of overseeing these people like use his show for their own gain, and it's kind of sad to watch. Um, so I don't know. Let me know how you feel about it in the comments. Like, do you guys think that they should change the name of the show or change something else about the show, something to make it a little less, you know, riding Charlie's coattails type of a show? Let me know what you think.
This is Andrew Colvett. Charlie Kirk's name is 3 times on the lower third. That's Charlie Kirk's book back there. If they pan back, Charlie Kirk's picture's up there. If they pan back even further, Charlie Kirk's empty chair right there with Charlie Kirk's hat and some stuffed animal Charlie Kirk had. But Candace is doing it for clicks? Is this to suggest that Andrew doesn't think people would tune in for the Andrew Colvett show? The Blake Neff Speed show? To tune in to hear somebody who got fired?
See, this is why I love Baron Coleman, because he says exactly what everybody is thinking. Like, I heard this earlier, but I wasn't like, I had my headphones on and I was cleaning because that's how I get stuff done around here, guys. Like, as a mom who works and has kids, like if I'm gonna listen to Baron Coleman, like I gotta do laundry, I gotta do something because otherwise I would get nothing done. So I have to multitask. And so I listen to Baron or whoever, while I'm doing stuff. And so I remembered that he went on this, but I didn't remember specifically what he said word for word. Um, but yeah, I watch this and I form my own opinion and I think, wow, this is really how I feel. And then I continue to watch, and then without having to make me feel that way, I just personally feel that way based off of seeing that image of him sitting there with his name and like all these times. And then he goes on to say exactly what I just said because that's how I actually feel. I think that's how 90% of us actually feel. So I don't know. I just wanted to point that out. Like, he just says what we're all thinking, and I just love it.
Fired from the Marines for being a horrific racist? No one would tune in for that? Why does nobody complain about any of these other people doing things for clicks? What about people like Brett Baer and Sean Hannity at Fox News? You don't think they tailor their coverage for eyeballs? You think they're covering the hottest issues every day? You think they make a good living? Do you know Brett Baer lived in I think it was the most expensive house ever sold in Washington, D.C.? It ended up, I think, becoming an embassy when he left, if I'm not mistaken. That was his house. That's where he lived. That's Brett Baer. He's a newsreader. You don't think he's doing it for clicks? You're not complaining about it. What about Mark Levin? You don't think he's doing it for clicks? He's got.
Guys, the Mark Levin voice. I love it. I gotta rewind this.
What about Mark Levin? You don't think he's doing it for clicks? He's got a podcast. He's got a radio show. He's got a TV show. What about Dan Bongina? I don't hear anyone knocking him. He does live reads. You don't think he's wanting to increase the number of viewers to increase the value of those live reads? Literally anyone else in any media space, any blogger, any ex-poster, anybody who makes a living podcasting, anybody who does anything, you don't think any of these people, only Candace Owens is the only one out there who's compromised by the fact that her show is successful, even though she's basically getting the same number of views she got before, maybe less in some situations. That doesn't cause you any concern as you just go out there and recklessly insinuate this woman is evil and doing this for ill motives. They tried to get a scalp in Candace Owens. They tried and tried and tried. That was going to be their victory. It's turning out to be a Pyrrhic victory if they ever get it, and I don't think they will. But they're taking themselves out trying to get it. The reality is Candace is wildly popular. Wildly popular. She does numbers on podcasts that very few people do. But she always has been wildly popular. Which is why when she left the Daily Wire, she walked right into a home studio after a couple of months off, fired up a camera, and instantly was one of the top podcasts in America. She was wildly popular. Charlie Kirk was still alive. She wasn't covering the Charlie Kirk death because he was walking around.
And we don't have to watch. If you haven't seen his live, I highly encourage you to do so. Because it's great. So I'll stop it there. But he's right. I mean, she was doing her own thing prior to all of this. And, I've even had people try to attack me. I've had people be like, oh, how much do you get paid to defend Candace and all this stuff? And I'm like, I don't actually. I don't get paid anything at all. Not even, like, nothing. Like, people just jump to these, like, they just automatically assume that if you are defending Candace, that you are being paid to do it. And it's like, no. Some of us actually just happen to have an IQ above, you know, 7, and we can look at things for ourselves and look at the facts and make our own decision. We can make our own informed decisions based, and that's all it is. She never goes out and she's like, oh, you must believe this or that or whatever. It's, hey, I have these text messages. I have these flight logs. This happened on this day. This looks like this. This person was there. It looks weird to me. What does it look like to you? And that's all that is. And they don't like it. I don't know. Can't imagine why. Usually innocent people don't mind being questioned at all. So, all right. One of the things I was going to show you guys is like some of the back and forth that I've had on this platform with people. But for the most part, I get a lot of likes because people just so happen to see, like, look at this. These are the type of attacks that, like, I get. Look at this. What did I say? Oh yeah. So this guy, he's come out a lot he's one of the guys so he was attacking Joe Kent. So Joe Kent said President Trump is working to get peace with Iran. If he can make this happen, it will be a very good thing for our nation and our allies in the Gulf. The Israelis will be against this, but POTUS is strong and can get them on board. Okay, let me just move. Sorry, I'm all in the way. I moved myself. There we go. So yeah, so there's Joe Kent's. And then here, so this is, I'm not even gonna say his name. Not even gonna say his name. Nope. Wow. Candace Owens is the hardest hit. Joe obviously thinks Candace Owens is a liar. Candace claims Trump was part of the plot to have Charlie killed. If Joe Kent believed her, why would he say things like this? Candace's friends don't really believe the things she says on her show. Candace doesn't even believe what she says on her show. So why do you? Like, first of all, what does any of that mean? Number one. And second, what does that have to do with anything that Joe just said? Absolutely nothing. And that's what I'm saying. It's like they're going out of their way to like just completely like slam her under the rug. Like they just want her to be discredited so bad. And I'm like, even when it doesn't make sense, that's how you know. It's like you're definitely just this is propaganda. That's how you know it's propaganda. When they're not even talking about Candace and then he has to make it about Candace. So that's what I said. I said, so you saw this and immediately thought, how can I make this about Candace? Your desperation to be relevant is astounding. Notice how I didn't swear. Notice how I didn't make fun of his appearance. Notice how I didn't, all I did was say exactly what it looks like. And this is what I get in response. Not from him, from someone else, from a different account, which is potentially a bot because I looked into it and they have 3 followers. They've been joined since 2023, so maybe they're not, but they follow 19 people and they have 3 followers. So I don't know. And this is their picture, like an actual bot, which is hilarious. Um, but yeah, it's like that's just kind of like the stuff that, is happening to us. Like they can't like that's the thing is like as much as Candace is being attacked, which is way worse than like we're being attacked, but it's all of us. Like it's Candace and it's anybody who says a kind thing about her or tries to paint her in a good light or is just being friendly or even just being honest and saying anything that's truthful. They come in full swing. Like we're getting our licks in. Like we're just taking the heat. And you know what, guys? I will gladly. I'm telling you, I've been going toe to toe in the comment sections. I'm like, that's it, guys. I'm like, Baron, I've had enough. Had enough. Okay. And then here's this weird thing that happened. Okay. So there's this weird thing that happened with Graham Allen the other day. So it's happened yesterday. Let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can find. Here it is. So, all right. So yesterday, I was scrolling on X, and had I have not been scrolling at the exact moment that I was scrolling, I would have never seen this. But Graham Allen, for those of you who don't know who Graham Allen is, he is a right wing political commentator. He is a veteran. He started out like, I don't know, when I first started watching Graham Allen, he was a completely different person, number one. Um, he maybe was involved in the propaganda, but he was probably like just getting started out. I don't know. But this was about 10 years ago. And he's like the Dear America guy. Like, do you guys remember? I wish he would get back to this. Like, I wish he would go, where's that Graham? Like, I missed the whole Dear America. And then he would just like go off on this like tangent. Like, can we get that guy back? Like, where is that guy? He's got to be in there somewhere. Like deep down inside, you just want to pull it out of him. Like, where's the Dear America Graham? What happened to that guy? He's still in there. I know he is. Like you just gotta speak to your inner Graham. Anyway, so that's who that is. Okay, and he did all these like commentaries and fun like skits and stuff, and then he got like his own podcast show, and now he's on Rumble, and he's on X like every 5 minutes too now. Um, but yeah, he's been really anti Candace. He's been really pro Trump, pro whatever, just MAGA to the max, MAGA to the max. Turn it up to the max. Okay, everything he's been posting has just been nonstop propaganda. Like, let me see. Let me pull up his page here, and I'll show you what I mean. Here we go. This is how it's done. President Trump is allowing Elon Musk to pay TSA salaries with Democrats holding agents hostage. I'd love it. I think it's great. Let him do that. Okay. Next one. Oh, wait, no, that's just a repost. So then he reposted this. Now he's just reposting a bunch of stuff. Okay, here he said, and this, yes, it is horrifying. I don't know if you guys saw the flight thing that happened. That was crazy. And then I guess there's something going on in Texas too. There's an oil plant that blew up and they're trying to figure out what happened. Here we go. Trump just annihilated Joe Kent. Okay. Just seems super like copy and pasty propagandy. God bless ICE. ICE agents have arrived at Atlanta International Airport to assist TSA workers while Democrats refuse to pay them. Okay. Again, just spitting out the narrative, you know? Um, right here. I stand with President Trump. I stand with Dan Bongino. I stand with Pete Hegseth. I stand with Erica Kirk. I reject the rope right podcasters. I reject the doomers slash fake news media. Real MAGA is still here, and the online hate trolls don't reflect the real world. Okay. Again, it just seems like this desperate copy and paste attempt, okay, to try and convince people that that's true. When in reality, it's really not true. I think most people are really concerned with what's going on in Iran. They're really concerned with our influence, well, not our influence, but like Israel's influence on us in pertaining to that. Um, and I think that the MAGA and whatever is left of it, which really isn't anything other than the people that he just pretty much listed there, um, in addition to like maybe Mark Levin, um, they they're just tone deaf. It's like they don't understand, or they do understand, but they're just trying really hard to keep that alive. Like they need people to believe it. So that's all you see is just this constant like stuff like this, just copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. It's very it just seems I think people can feel the propaganda at this point. Most people. I would say like the boomers who have nothing but Fox News, they're maybe the exception. Outside of that, everybody else has kind of caught on to that. Okay. Anyway, I say this to say, um, let me see if I can find my comment here. Yeah, here. So yesterday I was scrolling and this popped up on my timeline. And Graham said, nothing is a coincidence. This is all orchestrated. And notice how he capitalized the word nothing and he capitalized the word all. So my brain is saying, when he says nothing is a coincidence, I interpreted that as everything. Like everything that you see, like there's no such thing as a coincidence at any point ever. And this is all orchestrated as like everything that you're seeing play out right now is all orchestrated, meaning that would include him. And that would include like the MAGA movement, right? That might even include the people that he's talking about constantly. We don't know. When he says all in all caps, who is that referring to? You know? So I went to go respond, and my response was going to be, I think this is the only honest thing you've ever said. Like, I actually agree with Graham Allen's for the first time in years. This is crazy. Um, but when I went to put the comment, it wouldn't post. And I'm like, did I get locked again? Why did I get locked out again? But then I realized that actually no, the comment or his post had just been deleted. Okay. Thankfully I took a screenshot of it. I took a screenshot of what he said. It was up for about 3 minutes and then it was gone. It's weird to me. Okay, because here's the thing. Is like either he posted that in like defiance of what's going on his account. Because for all we know, it's not far-fetched to believe that there's these figures or these political commentators that get put on these pedestals. And then once they reach a certain status, it's not far-fetched to believe that their accounts then are not really being run by them, but run by, you know, people who work for whatever narrative they want to put out. Okay. And then it's on like a timer, like, oh, put this one out. Oh, put that one out. Okay. They might have figured out a way to do it electronically where like it doesn't even need to be a human being doing it. It just does it on a timer. Like you can I could set this video to be on a timer to get sent out at a specific time tomorrow. So I don't have to remember to post the video. It'll just post at the time I tell it to post. So it's not far fetched to believe. Okay. But this post, and I saw someone too, there was somebody who said, don't give him, I wouldn't give Graham that much credit. He probably just realized that he was going to get slammed in the comments and didn't want to deal with it. And it's like, okay, yeah, but he gets slammed in the comments every single day on every single post and he still keeps posting. So I don't think I mean, I don't know that would be a reason to delete it. So it's either one of two things. Either he deleted it himself or it got deleted for him. And in either case, if he deleted it himself, I'm curious as to why. Not because he doesn't have the right to post something and then change his mind and delete it, because I've done that. We've all done that. But I'd like to know what he meant by this because I happen to agree with it. Um, and for him and I to actually agree on something tells you that there's something deeper going on. When the person who is constantly saying, and here's the other thing too, it's like you have this person where it's like we're going to war, nobody's supporting it, and this person's just spitting out this narrative, this company line over and over, despite most people in their comment section being like, "Are you off your rocker?" Even veterans are like, "Dude, like, what happened to you? What happened to you?" So I just like I imagine that there's like he's been like held captive somewhere. Yeah, I don't know if this is true. I'm just speculating here. But like imagine if he's just like tied up somewhere and they like have him hostage and he's just like hostage and wants to like and they're just using his platform to like just put out what they want. And then he like somehow broke free for a second, was like, nothing's a coincidence. This is all orchestrated. Like I gotta help them, you know? Like he doesn't actually believe the things that he's being forced to tell people. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like he broke out of his cage for a second to try and help the American people, like he did in the past when he was a service member. Like I don't I maybe it's just that I want to believe the best in everybody all the time, you know? Maybe it's me wanting to believe that the old Dear America Graham is in there still somewhere. And he came out for a second, like fighting, a fighting chance. Guys, don't believe any of this. This isn't my account. This is all orchestrated. Nothing's a coincidence. And then it was like deleted. It's kind of like the equivalent of them like like get back in your cell. He's like, no, no, I have to tell them. That's what it looks like. That was what I saw this, and you have to understand, like not everybody saw this. It was only up for 3 minutes. It says it got 53 views, 3 likes, 1 reshare, and 1 comment within 3 minutes. So there's only 52 other people other than me in the whole world who knew about this. Well, now a lot more people have seen it because I took the screenshot and I blasted it all over X. I this is his comment section right here. He posted this. Okay, because he changed his tune because I started blasting that all over X. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on with Graham? I also said, I'm like, you know what? And if anything happens to him, like if that's what this is, if this is his way of trying to tell people, hey, none of that, like my account is not what you think it is. This is all orchestrated. If that's what he's really trying to say in this tweet that got deleted, then, you know, it might, I'm just saying, if that's what he was trying to say and then something bad happens to him, we know what happened. We know who did it. We know who did it. Okay. So I don't know. I just thought it was weird. But then I blasted it all over X. I'm putting it everywhere. It's people are seeing it. It's getting hundreds of views, thousands of views actually. Um, I think this one on this his comment alone it says here it only has 4, but there's one that has like over 2,000 views. I think it was on a different comment. So I posted this one and then I posted a different one because this one's from March 22nd, but there's another one from today, and it could be deleted. Maybe that's why I'm not finding it on here. Maybe that got deleted too. But after I post that all over, then all of a sudden you see he starts to kind of switch up a little bit. He kind of goes from being full MAGA to on the fence MAGA. Because he starts saying there are many GOP members, federal and state, that I'm done with and will do everything in my power to get rid of them. And there are also many former MAGA influencers that I can no longer stand, and we are better off without them. They are all grifting liars and fakes, right? So I don't know. It was definitely weird to me. So I just want to talk about that for a moment because it was weird. Um, but yeah, it's definitely a wild. Erica Kirk every time Candace Owens releases a podcast episode. I love it. I don't, just so you know, this is an AI generate. Like this never happened. This is AI, but so don't come for me in the comments. I know it's AI. All right, guys. Well, I'm not sure what else I planned on covering. You have to understand, I wasn't planning on making a show tonight. It's just kind of with everything going on and with Baron and everything. Um, I felt like it was fitting, and I got to get up and get to work in the morning. So I think I'm gonna leave it at this. Um, And then shout out to you guys, by the way. Like, how amazing. Like, I love our I love my platform because I feel like it gives you guys it doesn't just give me a voice, but it gives you guys voice too. So I'm thinking about probably not in this episode because it's already really late, but I think on the next episode, I'm gonna read some of the comments that I've been getting from you guys because they've been fantastic. I've been getting a lot of support, people saying that they, you know, they're really supportive of me and how they are excited to see us grow, and I'm excited too. I can't wait to see what this turns into. Um, and then also too, like people just expressing, like, everything that we've been seeing and everything around Charlie Kirk and how it's made us feel and how it's changed just the way that we think. It's fundamentally it's crazy to see that, like, I'm not alone in this. It's actually amazing to see that. Like, I'm not the only one who is changed forever, um, because of this, and, so we're in this together, and I think there's something really great about that, and I'm so glad that we have this channel, and I'm so glad that we can do it together. So, I just wanted to say that. Shout out to you guys. Thanks for following. Um, hit the like button. I never say these things. I have in my past videos, but there's sometimes where I'm like, I'm just so focused on like what I want to tell you guys that I forget to do all that. But that stuff is important because it tells YouTube that like you're interested in it and other people should be interested in it. And you know, it just gets the message out there more. So like, subscribe, share, all that fun good stuff. And then if you want to see the crazy back and forth that I get into on X, you can follow me over there as well. I'll link my X account in the bio. All right, guys. You guys have a great night, and you take care.